Nation of Fit and 10, it is day 44, and I'm spinning all over myself here. Day 44, you need to book your scan if you have not already. So go to www.calendly.com/trainonmain and book your scan ASAP. They're happening this coming Friday and Saturday. Again, this is for your second comparative scan. And of course, we had 4 weeks. Well, by the time your scan comes up, it will be about 4 weeks. Okay, unless you maybe did it at a different time with me. So you've had the most time, so we should see some really good results. The first comparative scan that we did, I saw the best results we've ever had overall. Not everybody's were, really good, but we had a lot of really good scans. As a whole, really, really good. And, I want to just remind you that if you maybe didn't have a good scan, it's never too late to have a good scan. It happens a lot. Some people have a slow start and a great finish. And some people have a great start and a slow finish. So it just depends. If you happen to be one of the very few, and I hate to say it, it is one of, well, I shouldn't say very few. It's like a quarter. On average, about a quarter of people in the challenge tend to, stay consistent all the way through. But this is part of the journey, okay? So don't beat yourself up if you haven't been consistent. This is all part of it, right? I am more impressed. I am more impressed, and I truly mean this. I am more impressed if you maybe don't do so well in the challenge, okay? Well, I shouldn't say that. Obviously, I'm more impressed if you do well in the challenge, but I'm even more impressed if you keep going afterwards. That's what I'm trying to say here. So, name of the game here is all about the long term, and there's no such thing as a diet that you do temporarily. Well, there is, but there's no such thing as a diet that you can do temporarily and maintain results. Just like anything else, you got to keep practicing your craft. Whatever it is, you have to keep practicing it. It's just like running a business, right? You can't run your business super well for a year. And then just close it down and expect for revenues to keep coming in and for customers to be happy, right? I mean, obviously, we know this, right? You got to keep doing what you've always been doing in order to get what you've got, or maybe perhaps maintain. All right. Anything else I wanted to say here? 26 days to go. Okay, not a long time. Not a short time, not a long time. 3.5 weeks. This person writes, in one of your videos, you mentioned eating your mom's food when you go home. That recently happened to me. I found the process frustrating because I saw what went into the soup she made. I'm assuming your mom made, yeah. And it was all whole food, healthy ingredients, but I couldn't log it because I didn't know where to start. Even if I did weigh out everything she put into the soup, how would I know how much went into the whole 2 bowls that I ate? Yeah, okay, well listen, first of all, it's vegetable soup, which means it's not gonna be a very calorie dense, so this is a good thing. Second of all, I am more concerned, first and foremost, like when I look at your journals, the first thing I look at is I don't even look at amounts. I just look at what you ate. Like I just want to see the foods that you chose. That's the most important thing. So the fact that you're eating vegetable soup here, this is awesome. What you eat matters the most, okay? How much you eat matters, obviously, okay? I think we probably all understand this, right? So it's one thing to eat well, but we've got to watch our portions. Now, in this case here, this could be much worse, okay? You could have eaten when I went to my mom's house on the long weekend there, I had some trifle. I will admit, I had trifle 2 nights. I had tortillere. I have no idea what's the meat's it's good quality meat, and it's just basically meat and onion, some spices. But then there's a crust on it, right? Which is carbs and fat, and I don't know how much it is. What else did I eat? I ate that I didn't really measure. No. I ate, what else did she make? Lasagna. Oh, yeah. Lasagna was super good. But as I was saying a couple videos ago, I will do this every now and then. All right, I will just, I will, again, it's all about, and forgive me for repeating myself, but I think sometimes it's really worth repeating stuff like this. It's all about measuring, how much you've done that's worked for you versus how much you've done that's worked. I mean, I don't want to say against you, right? I mean, we need breaks. We need we need to reward ourselves for working hard. But you could just think about how much are you off your diet versus how much are you on your diet? This is what really matters. Okay, so again, did I do any damage when I was at my mom's house? Yeah, a little bit. I could definitely see a difference in myself. I will admit. As embarrassing as it is, I'm a bodybuilder. I still look at myself daily in the mirror. So yeah, I do. It's just it's what happens when you've been bodybuilding since you've been 12 years old. And so I assess, right? And I can already see damage after a couple weeks, after a couple days. Certainly after a couple weeks, that would be pretty bad. But the point is okay. I already knew going into that weekend, I'm gonna be a little bit off. And I know that as soon as I come back, I'm get right back into it. So, and I knew I'd been really good for, I don't know how many months on end, with the exception of maybe a free meal here or there. Anyways, getting back to what you wrote. I wouldn't be, super concerned. I mean, for the sake of this challenge, we want to know exactly what's going on. We really have to pay attention to stuff like this. But the good thing is this is vegetable soup. Again, if it's just vegetables going in there, even if there was a little bit of starch, maybe some chopped potato or something, for the most part, it's going to be very low calorie. And you could probably, if it was just vegetables and then maybe some salt and spices or whatever, you could probably estimate the soup to be, I don't know how vegetable dense it is, so I can't really throw anything out there, but it wouldn't be super, you're not talking a lot of calories here. So, it's one thing to estimate calories on foods that are low calorie, right? That are calorie sparse, right? Like vegetables, okay, like most vegetables. It's another thing to not really have any idea of how much you ate in a food that is super calorie dense, like lasagna that I ate. All right, did I eat, and I had a couple servings of lasagna. Did I eat 700 calories? Did I eat 1,000 calories? Did I eat, 50 grams of fat, or did I eat 80 grams of fat? This makes a big difference, right? Especially if you do this over and over again. So that's where, that's going to have much more bearing than estimating some vegetables, okay? And then being, off on that. All right, if you estimate your soup to be whatever, let's say per cup, let's say every bowl is a cup, all right? Which is probably roughly what it is. And, the soup's probably going to be anywhere from probably 50 calories, maybe to, again, I don't know what went into it, but maybe 100 calories. But, so if we said, okay, every bowl is whatever, 75 calories, you're probably not going to be that far off. Okay, probably. But yeah, for sure, for the sake of this challenge, we want to get away from as much guessing as possible. Don't beat yourself up about it. So, sorry, what did you write here? Even if I did weigh everything out and put in the bowl, how would I know how much went into each bowl? Yeah, you wouldn't. You just don't. You wouldn't. You could just, in this case, like I said, you can kind of make an estimation. And then when you send me your food intake, you can just tell me. I've made an estimation. I'll probably ask you, though. Okay, additional comments, questions. I fell off the wagon this past week, food-wise, but your videos have been very inspirational. Great. I'm glad I can... I'm glad to hear that these are inspiring, truly. I am trying to look at this next half as a cup half full with lots of room for potential. I can still start every day with intention and stick to eating good whole food. Yeah, this is the most important thing. Eat real whole foods, okay? Even if you don't measure anything out. If you eat real whole foods, it's really, really hard to sit down and eat vegetables and meat. Okay, I realize you don't all eat meat, but I know the majority of you do. If you eat meat and you eat if you're eating real whole foods, most real whole foods are calorie sparse. Well, not all real whole food, but a lot of them are calorie sparse and very nutrient dense and satiating, because these foods are not designed to be, highly addictive, super palatable. If you're a food manufacturer, this is just what you're going to do. You want to create a product that people are going to buy more of. It only makes sense. So you're going to make it much more palatable. You're going to make it very, non-satiating, right? And just addictive, right? But if you stick with real whole foods, you're not going to, you're not going to, it's going to be very unlikely that, that you're going to put on a lot of body fat, or, that you're going to overeat. Let's just say that. Okay, it becomes really, really hard. Just eat like 3,000 calories of real whole food. This is hard. It's not easy. Of all real whole food, it's not easy. Do that with a pizza. It's very easy. Do it with muffins. Do it with crackers. Do it with, all these foods that are manufactured, that go through a lot of processing. It's very, very easy. So number one thing, real whole foods. You'll always hear me say this. All right, let's get to the message of the day. Let me just check here. If anybody sent me any more entries. Oh, I got more. All right, I will get to these tomorrow. Okay, I've got 3. Send me in your feedback if you have not. Make sure you send me in your food journals. This is part of your accountability. It's going to be helpful to you. I know it's work, but it's going to help you. One of my favorites here. Do you want to know the difference between a master and a beginner? Do you want to know the difference between a master and a beginner? The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. You got to keep going. You got to keep trying. You're gonna mess up many times. It's gonna happen. I'm telling you right now. That is what happens on the road to success. That's what happens. There's no such thing as a road of success that's paved without some level of hardship, okay? Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, and for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.